question because it offshore is better. Okay, now I know a bunch of you have already voted, but who hasn't voted and also doesn't know who they're going to vote for? Perfect. That's what this whole thing is about. Because what I tried to do here is I'm giving basically a brief summary of the three main political parties in the race and kind of their stance, their pros and cons. If I come off as biased towards anything at all, I apologize, I try not to. That's why they all look like they're kind of talking but don't look happy or sad because they're all equal or something. Alright, so we'll start off with Conservatives, with Stephen Harper. He is their leader. He has been leading the Conservative Party for 9 years. He has been our Prime Minister for 9 years. He will, if he wins this election, he will become Canada's longest serving Prime Minister. He won with a minority government, with Canada's first minority government, and has continued on to have a majority now in what is considered, according to the media, to be one of the biggest elections of all time because there's so much social media involved. Pros of Stephen Harper and the Conservative Party are, number one, Harper has a lot of experience and has led us out of recession before. Number two, he has plans to add more benefits to parents in the workforce. Examples would be he adds 18-month job protection for mothers who are nursing a child. Another one is he has led the country for a long time, in fact almost the longest in Canadian history. And because of that, he has a lot of experience. He kind of has an idea of what he's doing, and if he didn't, well then we're a country of idiots. As for cons, he is really bad for corruption. The Conservative Party has had a lot of scandals while they were in power. Mike Duffy, just to name one. He has also led us into the current recession we are in. Not too long ago, it is official, we are in a time of recession. So he has led us here. I'm not saying he is the reason for it, but he is the person who has been leading us, and now we're here. He has also, this is the one that bothered me the most. On 4 separate occasions, he has tried to integrate internet surveillance. So he would be monitoring the things that we're looking up, the things we're watching, the things we're saying to each other over the internet, which I find is a very big invasion of our privacy, and I'm not crazy about that. But on the other hand of that, it's also maybe a necessary step to stop terrorism, which we are lucky enough to have not dealt with too much. Now we go to the Liberals with Justin Trudeau. He is the son of Pierre Trudeau, in case you didn't know. I didn't mean to rhyme there, it just kind of worked. He is almost more of a celebrity than anything. I don't know exactly how he got into power, but a lot of people say it's just because of his name. Pros, he is very relatable to young kids and the younger generation that can vote. He's got a lot of cool ideals that we like because we're a more accepting society now, I guess I'd say, and he shares a lot of those accepting ideals. He's tolerant towards almost everything: marijuana, gay marriage, abortion, all that stuff. If it's a big issue, he's for it for some reason. He also plans to reform the Senate. Like I said earlier, the Senate has had a lot of corruption, and it's actually been talked about whether we still need the Senate or not. So a reform of that process is a good idea. As for cons, also incredible. He really does. Let's face it. The commercials are a joke. Let's face it, his hair is gorgeous. All right. As for the cons, on the other hand, almost all of his strengths and his pros are also a con in some way. Example, he does not relate very well to the older crowd for the exact same ideals. He has very opinionated stances on very controversial issues. Trudeau is actually quoted of saying that anyone who is pro-life is not allowed to be part of his party. So, and in layman's terms, if you're not for abortion, you can't be part of my government. Also, he has lots of plans to spend money, meaning higher taxes for all of us, because it's their money. On to the NDP. Tom Mulcair took over for Jack Layton in 2010 when he died of cancer. I think it was 2010. Pros, the NDP has not had any corruption lately or at all that has ever been found out and put into the media. He is a very strong environmentalist, cares a lot about our environment, which you will see is a con in some ways as well. He also plans to strengthen our healthcare system by giving more benefits to nurses and doctors and looking to add more money to their wages. As for cons though, it's a new unproven government. A lot of people are not crazy about that because they've never actually been in, the NDP has never actually been in power, so people are a little nervous about it, especially with the NDP just coming into power here in Alberta. Typically, the NDP is not kind to the West, and you're going to see why in my next con here. Under the last government we had with Harper, agriculture, which is important to me, has never been better. So the NDP is, and the West is not typically fond of the NDP as well. And this is a big reason why. The NDP is anti-oil sands, which brings in a lot of money for our country. It's a big strength to our economy. That's part of why we're in recession right now, is because the oil prices are doing so bad. So I hope that cleared up what you guys are thinking for the upcoming election.